Yup, it's 44 still. And so if you're 9 months when you come out of the womb, then how old are you going to be at 9 months? 18 months. So when you're 1 year and 9 months old, or if you're 1 year and 2 months old, plus the 9 months, that means you're 2 years old when you're actually 1 year old. Because they take your blood and they give you a birth certificate. Like back in Egypt, people didn't need birth certificates or have to take blood. And they take that blood to the Freemasons because they need that to harvest information from us because they don't have melanin. Their species doesn't have melanin in their skin. The Caucasian species don't have melanin in their skin. So they can't take the sun. So certain types of reptilian beings, because there's a lot of reptilians. And there's even some reptilians in us. And not all reptilians are malevolent. But when we take this planet back for ourselves, we're sending them all back where they came from. We're going to fuck their planet up. We're going to show them what happens if they come here again. Because after this is done, so I've made my point. You're not really a year old. You're 2 years old. If you're 18, you're not really 18. You're 19. Because they're trying to get you to think in the past. That's why they made time. Like, why do I have to go to work at 7:30? Why can't I just go to work until the sun comes up and then the sun's in the middle of the sky, morning to noon, instead of having to use a 9 to 5? And why even use money? Because money is another trap. It's the root of all evil, and we know it. They got all these reptilian faces on the dollar bills. They expect us to worship. They got our people killing each other in the hood over money, yo. Robbing places over jewelry, and they're not even the white stores. Why not go rob their stores? Rob them from all their grocery stores and their goods. Why don't we rob their capital where America's hiding all their Freemasons, where they're drinking blood underground in the White House? How about we expose the underground layer in the White House where all the presidents do their rituals, where they take all the blood from the hospital that they get from the thousands of missing Black and Hispanic children missing across America? Where do you think that goes? That goes right. It goes right to the same place the organ donors are in all over the world are giving to, in the United States and Ukraine, because they need to start this war. And they need to start this war with Russia and us. They need to start this war with Russia and us so they can get blood. So they can get blood for their rituals, because they know they can't take the solar flares that are coming. They know they can't take the energy on this planet. They know they can't contain this planet from cleansing itself with fire. Whenever people are committing acts against the Creator, which is the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, whenever anyone's committing acts against the earth is pissed. That's why hurricanes are a thing. That's why volcanoes are a thing. That's why there's going to be another hurricane. That's why tornadoes are happening. There's going to be, right now, simultaneously, all volcanoes and tsunamis are going off on the planet. There's massive flooding right now. And they're going to be talking about it, and they're going to try to cover it up. But they're going to try to cover it up. Some people are going to die, but there's going to be flooding. Because this planet is pissed. It's pissed of all the evil. And it doesn't care who it has to hurt, because the earth is a living, conscious being. And people who are still sleeping in the matrix, who are still willingly contributing to this program, they're the same ones that are getting slaughtered in Turkey and Ukraine and Syria. They're the same ones that are the atheists, the Christians, the Muslims that don't have faith, that don't want to be open-minded. No one wants to open their mind up, because God will help you, but you have to help yourself, because really you are the God, because you can't just expect to give yourself $1 million overnight. You can't just expect to give yourself $1 million overnight and expect that to happen. It only happens within fortune. You have to trust the process, man. But anyway, so yeah, because these reptilians, they take the blood, they want to give you birth certificates and a social security number from the day you're born, the day you come out your mother's vagina, from the day you were born, so they want you to take this birth certificate. They hung our people like monkeys from trees. They beat us. They enslaved us. They killed our people. They raped our women. And since they can't do that anymore, since we're pissed and we rise up, they want to give us Social Security. They're going to enslave everybody equally and try to put us on this kumbaya, we're all one race shit. We can all respect each other as two different species. See my veins right here? White people's veins are completely green. Most black people's veins are bluish green. They have a blue-green tint. Counting mine, too. 2 different veins, 2 different species. Different hair, different species. Our hair literally is the cosmos. Our hair is literally antennas to get such information like this. People asking, how do you know such stuff? Who told you this stuff? Who are you watching to get this stuff? Doesn't matter who I've been watching, because with or without them, I'm going to pick up on their energy, because my hair is an antenna to the cosmos, the higher realm. I don't even need to watch anyone else, but I still choose to cross the line like I'm blind. But no, I just crave for more knowledge, since I'm only part carbon. I'm not fully carbon, which doesn't give me as much knowledge, but I'm telling you what I can, because we know since day one that when these reptilians started the Illuminati, that when they got banned in other countries, they started up as the Freemasons, and now the Freemasons are taking blood for themselves from the children in the hospital and making thousands of what they call us minorities. They're making us missing. But we're not minorities. We're gods and goddesses. All these young gods and goddesses that are getting kidnapped for this satanic ritual, because the solar flares and the Jupiter and Venus entering Pisces and the Mercury and Saturn, no, not Jupiter, the Mercury and Saturn entering Pisces and the Jupiter and Venus entering Aries, this is having effects on them. And yes, I hate to say this, but if you're fully Caucasian, if you have a half and a quarter of Caucasian in you, which is more than 75% Caucasian, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter if you're into crystals and you're white and you have cosmic information. The solar flares on this planet are eventually going to fry all Caucasian people and all light-skinned Asian and European people. And the gods and goddesses will only remain, because the earth and the sun are simultaneously working with each other. There's no gravity but a law of attraction. That's why this is happening, because the earth is calling out to the sun and the different planets, and these alignments are happening. These alignments were meant to happen, and to cleanse the planet of evilness. This is why all this destruction is happening. You don't need to be scared. It's going to be okay. There's no need to be scared of anything, because no one's going to get hurt or anything if you're melanated. But if you're of a Caucasian descent, your time on this planet is up, because white people, don't even have melanin, okay? They're the closest things to albinos that we have on it. And there's the only reason there's more of them than us if we don't count some of the population in China and Japan with their dark-skinned Asian population, because most of them, because white people from before the Illuminati was first made, black people, we are melanated people, we are one with nature, meaning we are biological machine. We are biological machines. We are natural machines, okay? Our body is a machine, and that's a video for another subject, but our bodies are biomechanical machines, meaning we have the ability to change things with our mind using telekinesis. Before they enslaved us and started killing off our people, we commuted with each other telepathically. Before the Europeans came and blacks started enslaving other blacks, we were all peaceful, even if there was disagreements between other tribes. They didn't enslave them all the way back then. That started in the 18th century. Because there is technology way beyond Egypt, way beyond these phones and these iPads and computers. Our technology is so advanced, and when the Illuminati came in the 1700s, they were promoting slavery. That's why they wanted it banned, because they wanted to steal the Enlightenment ideas that us black and Hispanic and melanated people had from the cosmos, because all of our tribes, we had different information. All the Native American tribes across the Americas, from South America from Argentina to Canada, all across the Americas were indigenous peoples. The African peoples, Native American, Hispanic, black, we're all one. Caucasian, light-skinned Asian, Arab, Jewish, you are all biologically made in a lab by reptilian aliens and blue-eyed, blonde-haired, tall, white-skinned people from the Pleiades constellation, known as Pleiadians. You were made by reptilians and Pleiadians, and they interbred to make some of you, and they made you in a lab, and they made gruesome hybrids to continue their bloodlines, because that's why a lot of the royal families practiced incest, because they took it upon themselves to keep the reptilian bloodline within them. That's why some of them look so deformed, because the sun, all the way back then, was destroying them. All the way back then. Now it's at a point where it's so powerful that the sun is going to wipe out anyone that doesn't have melanin in their skin. And with the alignments that are happening, we're about to get everything we've dreamed of. There's going to be no more IRS, Social Security holding us back, no more. They've enslaved our people by putting us on food stamps and government assistance, bruh. We literally went from working on a cotton field against our will to working on a 9-to-5 just to get some money to put food on the family for our kids so we can survive. They literally enslaved everyone. They've enslaved everyone now, and now the sun and the earth are synchronizing almost, because you got to understand, the universe is always having sexual intercourse, man. A black hole and a star, because a black hole and a star, the black hole is sucking up the star, that's like a vagina that's taking the star. Same with the earth and the sun. They're synchronizing. The earth is entering the gates of Helios it's coming near the sun, and the sun is hitting it with these massive solar flares, and the volcanoes on the planet are going off all at once. The planet is like it's having an orgasm, you know? It's like it's having an orgasm. I don't need to repeat that again because I don't want to get banned, but the planet is simultaneously destructing itself just so it can. The earth is literally, those aren't earthquakes. Those are cosmic battles that are happening within the cosmos. This is the Anunnaki. and the Pleiadians that are fighting against the reptilians and other species, but it's mainly us Anunnaki, because the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, they don't give a shit about us. They only give a shit about helping the white people. But they're not going to be able to help the white people, the Pleiadians and Arcturians, when the solar flare hits. That's why you've been seeing a lot of white people meditating. That's why you've been seeing a lot of white people talking about spirituality. This is what the Illuminati was about, and that's back to my story in the 1700s. If we go back in time, when they were enslaving our people, this was in the 1700s, back when slavery was still in England and Europe. This is when the Illuminati became popular. You want to know why, nigga? Because they were reptilian bloodlines, and when the country started to ban the Illuminati, because they were all about democracy and spirituality, and they were all about conspiracy theories, and they were all about spirituality. From the tribes that they took, and they tried to lie. George Washington tried to lie after he wrote the Declaration of Independence, saying that the Illuminati was a threat to them. So when countries started banning the Illuminati, they switched up. They disappeared. They didn't get banned. They agreed to something else. They agreed to keep with the scandal. That's why George Washington, he was a reptilian shapeshifter from outer space. He was a Freemason. The Illuminati and the Freemasons were the same. The Illuminati did this. This was their plan to disband in the 1700s. And so they could continue enslaving black people in America. So they became the Freemasons, and they became all about stealing the stuff from the African tribes and enslaving us. The same thing happens with Jewish people. That's why I'm very worried for Kanye right now, because he was right about what he was saying, because the 12 tribes of Israel were originally black. They were not Jewish. They were not Jewish. Jewish people just want to steal that in their religion, because white and Jewish, this is an example. Jewish people always try to be like us. White people always try to be like us. They literally influenced our music. This hip-hop, this rap music. Talk about killing people. Talking about not being there for women after you fuck them. Not impregnating them. I mean, King Solomon, he was in all 3 religious texts, and he had 600 different wives, and he had thousands of different children, and they want to cover it up in all these religious texts, saying he just had 600 different wives. He didn't have 600 different wives just to fuck around with them. He had children, because let me tell you why, nigga. A woman can only produce 300 babies per her womb, which means there's only 300 eggs in a woman's uterus, okay? So she can only make 300 babies before that pussy is all stretched out. So if he has 600 wives, what's 6 times 3, nigga? 6 times 3 is 18. He would have over 1,800 children with each woman, because this is what the African tribes used to do back in the day. They'd have multiple wives, and this is still a thing in Arab culture, in African culture, to have multiple wives. That's why in some parts of Africa, it's normal to have multiple wives, but in America, in Latin America, in the United States, I don't think it's very common. Let me know if it is common in Latin America. It's not common in the United States, and if it is, it's just men fucking around. They're not getting the bitch pregnant. They're not having all the wives come together as one, or the girlfriends come together as one, whatever you want to do if you're not into marriage and you still want to have a kid. If all the girlfriends come into play, they can help each other take care of the children, because the more children you have, if you have 600 wives taking care of 1,800 children, he's going to have those children over a different period of time. And with over 600 wives to help raise hundreds of different babies, this is what happens. The childs don't swear. They don't become irresponsible. Well, they're still going to fucking swear, because these reptilians, we're going to get back to them, man. That was our culture, and they perverted it, man. They enslaved us just so they could steal our spiritual information, because we still, to this day, when we made us us black people come from the Anunnaki bloodline, and the Anunnaki made the universe. This is what they mean by the Big Bang. They came down here from another universe. There was an already infinite existing universe full of us, and we made the planet Earth. And this doesn't include black people. This also includes Hispanic and Native American people. All Hispanic and Native American people. Not in some dark-skinned Asian people. Dark-skinned Koreans, dark-skinned Chinese, dark-skinned Japanese. That's why they made Kung Fu and karate. Because these people have ancient knowledge. And some of the light-skinned Japanese, the Japanese emperor, he claimed to come from dragons. And another Japanese emperor and prime minister, he came from the Pleiadian star system. So do some Native Americans. A lot of them interbred with each other. But those are still our people. These are still our people, man. And it's time the solar flares are sending activation codes in our DNA, and it's causing all people of color to wake up and go against our oppressors. Because in the 1700s, when they stole this enlightenment information from us, the spiritual information from us, they stole all the enlightenment we had, and they perverted it and didn't call it enlightenment. They called it demonic, and they tried to put a Bible in his throat. When they put us on a ship and came to America, they put this atheism down our throat. Once it was over and the IRS gets on their ass, atheism comes down. And when they were enslaving our people, and when the American and British missionaries who want to improve relations between Joe Biden and Africa, you see Joe Biden and them African leaders meeting. They're all a bunch of sellouts, those African leaders, for their people, meeting with Joe Biden, conducting satanic rituals. The African leaders, because why would Europe and America send missionaries to the rest of sub-Saharan Africa and the rest of fucking Africa when Africa's fine on itself? There's no famine or droughts going down there. The famines you hear about in Ethiopia, those are over with. Ethiopia is in East Africa, they're prospering right now. They're living fine lives, but the governments are corrupt. They shut the electricity off at night because they're still controlled by the white man. The United States is still controlled by England. Yeah, I know. The reptilians create different countries. That's why the American Revolution, every war ever since the first war in history, up to the American Revolution, up to this Russo-Ukrainian war that happened last year in February, they've all been staged. It's all for control and manipulation. They're all on the same side. Don't you see what's happening in Ukraine, nigga? That Zelensky motherfucker, he's having people are peacefully protesting in the streets. They're like, oh, Zelensky should do a peace deal. They come into the house and they drag the husband out of the husband or the boyfriend out of the home and beat him in front of his wife and saying, you were online or in a protest in a major city in Ukraine, and you were online saying Zelensky should do a peace deal and the war should end. And they beat you and they force you into a military and they put you in a fucking POV camp. And we're fighting for Ukraine? They're a democracy? Motherfucker, I don't think so. It's kind of the same thing they're doing in Ukraine, is a mostly all-white country. With Ukrainians, Poles, Russians, a lot of Germans, a lot of people live there. And they're beating these different people down, all minorities, and they're beating Ukrainians down, and there's different other minorities there that aren't getting beaten down, that are still protesting against this. Same thing that happens here in America, that's been happening ever since we've been freed. Police brutality, it's happening in Ukraine. They're staging it. They're trying to it's a distraction, because they're at war with us. They're at war with the Anunnaki, because I was watching a video in Ukraine the other day, and that literally was not a bomb that the Russians sent. That was not a bomb. That was an Anunnaki goddess coming down from a spaceship that was causing a destruction, because the black smoke, that represented the sky. And the reason we have this copper skin complex is because We are pure energy. We are pure energy. And ever since the 1700s, when they enslaved us, they took our land over, and they created all these illusions, and they stole our ideals and perverted them so they could implement democracy and hide behind closed doors. This is why they take the blood and the Social Security and give you a name. They want you to forget who you are cosmically, because you aren't, and their math makes no sense. Like that 16 plus 16 plus 14. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not that good at math. I had to edit some of this shit out because you're not 18 years old. You're 18 and 9 months years old. You're not 1 month old. You're 10 months old. Because this is what the reptilians did. They created this illusion. They made this bullshit, this math. They had Pythagoras, Plato, all reptilians. They had them in Arcturians. Them too. Those little blue alien motherfuckers that come from that star you can see up in the constellation called Bootes. If any astronomers out here, they should know which constellation I'm talking about. But in the constellation Bootes, in the Arcturus star system, they have planets. They have like 6 or 10 different planets in that star system. They have a warm desert in there. They have planets in there. They have gas giants in there. They have Earth-like planets in there. There's a whole solar system full of these blue alien beings. And they made time. The reptilians didn't make time. The Arcturians made time, and the reptilians stole it from them. And that's why they're warring it to them this day. Because the Arcturians, they never gave a fuck about black people. Same with the Pleiadians. They didn't help. They only wanted to help the human race. That's why my stance is so controversial. That's why Rashad Jamal and YouTubers like Remedy H, they're facing backlash. But they're telling the truth. We are the original gods and goddesses. And we are warring our people and our ancestors who fought oppression so dearly. And I'm not talking about that Dr. King bullshit, because he was on some bullshit. I'm more of a Malcolm X nigga than a Dr. King guy, because Malcolm X stood for what's right, and they had their differences. And I agree. If I was Malcolm X, if I was alive back in that time, I'd knock Martin Luther King's ass out. They've oppressed us for so long, and they literally would gather in crowds back then to watch our people hang back in the 1960s. There's literally envelopes with people hanging in the mail, with gods and goddesses hanging in the mail, not human beings. Gods and goddesses hang in the mail. You imagine you're a Caucasian person, or you're fully Caucasian, depending if you're biracial or not. Imagine being fully Caucasian and opening up a postcard, and you got niggas hanging in your mail. You know how wrong that sounds? Yes, they did that in the South back then. That was in real bad areas of the South back then, and the police brutality never changed. They still oppressed us the same way. And Dr. Martin Luther King's talking about holding hands with little white boys and little white girls and making peace with their white man. Oh, hell fucking no. I would knock your ass out. I'm glad it's a good thing that he didn't get shot by his own people. Or did he get shot by a Black Panther? I'm not sure how Dr. King died, because I don't care. Because he speaks for oppression. We can't side with this Caucasian race no more. We can be friends with them. We can help them. Because helping all different species across the universe is what the Most High wants right now. But they also want us to destroy and kill right now. Because that's our revolution. We're going to stop our 9-to-5s. Soon we're going to go on strike, and soon there's going to be another worldwide revolution. And that's what's with these solar flares, man. They're turning us against our oppressors. And the sun's going to cook those reptilians and those Caucasians, because they're the same thing. They're made in a lab by the reptilians. The sun's gonna cook all those reptilians. All their children are gonna be cooked. Because those are we made the universe in our will. The whole other alien species, ones that they can't these reptilians don't even identify, that they haven't conquered and hidden from us. They've wiped out thousands of planet species. And in the 1700s, when the Illuminati was banned in different countries, this is what they did. This is what they did. They switched they made it look like it wasn't banned. They just disbanded it and went with the Freemasons, because the Freemasons was more acceptable, it was more secretive, it was more popular, and they had a deal plan to suppress our people till the day this planet dies. And this planet is gonna die in rebirth, because us melanated people, we don't die. We are just reborn as gods and goddesses embedded within the cosmos, because we are embedded within the Akashic records, brothers and sisters. We are embedded in the Akashic records, brothers and sisters. You heard me right. We're embedded in the Akashic records, which is the universe. So when we die, we are reincarnated, not in the way you think, not like white people reincarnate, or the black people that are following this Jesus shit, because let me go back to the missionaries. But first, I told you about reincarnation, escaping the cycle. White people can't escape Caucasian people can't escape a reincarnation cycle unless they really want to go back to their roots, because the Pleiadians aren't originally from the Pleiades constellation. The reptilians and the Pleiadians, they originate, which are you white people watching, fully Caucasian if you're watching. No disrespect to you. I have no disrespect against the Caucasians. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. The Pleiadians, the reptilians, the Pleiadians, they come from a planet called Nern, which is a different dimension, and the reptilians invaded that planet, and the Pleiadians have always been warring it with each other on their planet, because there's no sunlight on their planet. That's why they have no melanin, and they can't take the sun. That's why they have no melanin, and they can't take the sun, because they can't take the sun, man. There's 2 moons on their universe, in their realm. It's always cold and snowing, and they're warring it on this planet. And from Canada to Switzerland, to Sweden, to Russia, to Antarctica, this entire planet was tropical before the reptilian invaders came and they created white people. They had to make snow so they could block out the sun, so that the Caucasian race, they could survive. But now we're taking back what's ours, brothers and sisters. We're taking away their weather control and everything. Because I showed you before in that video with the snow that looked real pretty. That nasty shit that they try to make look real nice and pretty. It's actually disgusting, nasty shit with chemicals. It's not just water vapor. That's chemicals. You see them? There was a plane there was a plane up there, and them niggas are scared of me. Them reptilians. We saw Rashad Jamal talk about this in his lectures. Those reptilians are flying the planes, and I got more proof. They're spreading chemtrails in their sky. Like that man Alex Jones said, that white man Alex Jones. They're putting chemicals in the water to making the frogs gay. It's making some of the Caucasians gay. And the blacks that have a calcified pineal gland, it's making them gay too. They're trying to depopulate us. That's why they gave black people sickle cell. That was a disease that they made on an alien spaceship in outer space that reptilian invaders made. So to get us sick. That's why they made coronavirus, to kill off all the Caucasians and the Chinese and kill off everyone equally. They're making something new to sickle cell, just like they replaced us and just like they replaced white people sitting on their asses, being lazy, being dominant while we worked in a cotton field, to all of us equally going to a 9 to 5 to, we're on a kumbaya, all one race shit. They're trying to merge us all together under a new world order. They're trying to make us slaves. And a lot of people are falling for the system because they influenced us so much. You remember hip-hop music? It was so peaceful. You know what they did to it? The first song, wasn't it by the Sugar Hill Gang? They weren't talking about pimping bitches or killing other niggas. And if we're going to talk about killing other niggas in rap songs, can we talk about killing Caucasian folks instead of killing other black people that are rival gang members? Because the Caucasians have oppressed us for so long. Why do we need to rob black-owned stores when we should be supporting them? And along with trying to increase more black-owned farms and black-owned technology companies. Snoop Dogg posted on his Instagram, there's influential rappers like Big Sean and Snoop Dogg that talk about spirituality because the sacred healing herb, the marijuana, Snoop Dogg promotes it. He talks about this peace and this spirituality. And he's all for uniting the Crips as one so we can go against the white man. Snoop Dogg's exposed the Illuminati many times. He's even tried to get his soul back from selling it in a contract. So he is, just like Kanye, he is a sellout. And I'm worried about Kanye West too because the Jews are oppressing our people and so are the white people because hip-hop was so peaceful and we can't even rap right now about going into white-owned stores and shooting them or killing these mother effers in the government. But we can rap about killing other niggas? That ain't fair. We should be rapping about killing Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, and going into white-owned grocery stores and lighting them ablaze. Because I'm all for black power. And that's my message for this video. Hashtag black power in the comment section down below. Because we will take back what is ours. We are whatever you identify. If they try to put you under a different subspecies, a different nationality, they want to call you Mexican, Puerto Rican, Latina, Asian, Native American, we're all one. We're all one, brothers and sisters. We're all one. And they try to give you Caucasian folks different names too. Arabs, Jews, Caucasians. Then you got Southern Italians, which are us, because the first people that populate Southern Italy and Greece and Southern Yugoslavia were black people. Only black. You must understand when Ra, the sun god, when the creator, when El, the most high, who was a black man, when he created the earth, because it's in the Sumerian text that he was a black man. He created the earth. It says even in the fake texts, in the fictional text of the Bible, man was created in God's image. Who is God? A black man. Because when God created the earth, there were no white people. There were no Chinese. There were no Arabs. There were no Muslims. There were no Jews. There were no Arabs. Only black people. Just black people. There were no Hungarians. There were no Germans. There were no Italians. There were no Romans. There were no Yugoslavians. No Russians. No Swedish. No Norwegian. No Finnish. No English. No Scottish. No Welsh. No Irish. No Chinese. No Japanese. No Caucasian American. No Portuguese. Only black people, just black people were on the planet before they came. Just us. And now that there are the solar flares and the green comet and the Mercury and Saturn aligning in Pisces and the Jupiter and Venus and Aries, you must understand, brothers and sisters, an alignment with this is the powerful alignment of the planets. This hasn't happened in thousands of years. Alignment like this of the planets. One that is proportionate. Okay, you must understand, brothers and sisters. So yeah, they want us to rap about killing other black people. We got little that's why I just listen to Drake, nigga. I know people make fun of me because I'm light-skinned and I listen to Drake. Drake doesn't rap about killing people, but he sacrificed his soul to Satan. He has the owl and he throws up Illuminati signs. And there's even a Christian Caucasian pastor who was brought to hell, which shows you that Christianity is just a reincarnation trap to get you into hell and keep repeating life so you reincarnate as a bird and a bee and a butterfly. And they do this to black people. That's another way of slavery. They impress us. Just like they changed it with us working on a cotton field, 9 to 5 to 9 to 5. And they changed sickle cell to coronavirus. They just don't stop. They just won't stop oppressing our people, man. And it's ending now with the solar flares and the double planet conjunction alignment. It's ending now with Aries and Pisces, because we're in the age of Aquarius, and this is happening now. They don't want us rapping about killing our oppressors. They want us killing each other. And that's why they got these agents in the rap game. They don't want influential people. Like, what about when Snoop Dogg was Snoop Lion? He was so peaceful then. They even had Drake being a sellout. They took Drake's classical albums down from Spotify, nigga. When he was 19, he started producing music. And he started turning on niggas. He exposed his record producer Voice Alexander. And then he sold his soul to Satan, and he started talking about how he was the sixth god. I still listen to him because he doesn't rap about killing other niggas, but he killed XXXTentacion. Drake raps about killing other niggas, it's personal beef with him because of his Illuminati. He's a sellout. And I'm trying to wean myself off listening to Drake. It's like an addiction. Like, I wouldn't want myself listening to coke I wouldn't want myself snorting coke or heroin, just as I wouldn't want myself listening to Drake. But his flow is so smooth because his voice was so beautiful before he sold out. And now with this, he didn't need to collab with 21 Savage to make an album. But they got even Drake. He was considered the softest nigga in the rap game until I noticed that he dropped Scorpion, which I'm a Scorpio too, which is creepy. He dropped Scorpion back in 2022. Hopefully Ra the Sun God will save Drake's soul. I hope the Most High and the Anunnaki have Drake's soul, and I hope they're going to save him. Because they got all these other agents. Because there's positive people in the rap game. Like Snoop Dogg and NLE Choppa. Remember when NLE Choppa stopped rapping about killing people? And he became a vegan, and he still is. And he started treating women better, and he got even more pussy than he did before. When he started rapping, when he started respecting women. NLE Choppa and NBA Youngboy, I don't know what he's been doing. But Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West. That's why I'm worried about Kanye, because the white man copies us. They got Eminem and all these sellouts, and they got white people saying the word nigga, which I don't like. And they got white people saying that the N-word when they called us that on the cotton field for years. We get the right to call each other niggas because we ain't even niggas. We gods with a real struggle. But they got us singing our rap songs, sound so cringe, dressing in clothes like us, trying to dress like the ghetto, like it's cool to live in the slums. If you want a relationship and more friends, then yeah, go move to the ghetto. But if you're moving to the ghetto just to deal with violence and be tough and not speak to them and try to tell you that this ghetto gospel Christian shit is bullshit and we should make our own peaceful movement, not like the Bloods, not like the Crips, but we should follow it with the alignments of the planets. I'm not saying we should kill or rob anyone, but we should come together so we can just kill and rob the social security companies, the same people that are taking blood from our children and making all these people of color go missing. We need to destroy that. We need to get online and go on the dark web and start finding these motherfuckers. That's what we need to do. Come together as a species and take down the secret society species that's oppressing our planet. Then the strings will fall before we can take on the common Caucasian man. After we take down Mitch McConnell and these motherfuckers that are underground drinking blood in the White House, we're coming for all these. We're getting revenge for all these motherfuckers that snatched our people out of the car. We're coming for you, all you German and all you German American and Ukrainian cops with German and Ukrainian and ancestry that snatched our people out of the car. Every reptilian that snatched a melanated person out of the car, those motherfuckers are going to pay. We're going to use their own assault rifles, their own military weapons against us. We're going to, every station in America, every cop station in America, done. All the people oppressing us, done. It's over with in a blink of an eye. So yeah, they try to have us act like us, making it look cool to be ghetto, having white people wear our fancy jewelry. We wore that back in the tribal days, and now white people are getting diamonds and putting them around their necks. And now you got Drake and these other rappers wearing these because they look cool. They're millions of dollar diamonds. You got all these sellouts for our people rapping about killing other niggas. I'm talking about, what's his face? Lil Durk. And you got Lil Durk, and I don't try to listen to them niggas no more because it's all shoot them up and kill them. Why can't we rap about, what happened to Bob Marley and reggae music? What happened to about Big Sean when he dropped I Decided back in 2017? He had some R&B classics, Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West. That's why I'm worried about Kanye, because the Jews do the same thing the white people do with copying hip-hop music and saying the word nigga when the hip-hop songs come on. The Jews are claiming they're the 12 original tribes when when they were never black. But the 12 original tribes were black, and they weren't Jewish. And the Jews want to call the 12 original tribes Jewish, just so they can profit off their religion and have holidays to get off work. Because the head of the Jewish minister is a pedophile, and he drinks children's blood, just like the Pope does, and all those people that are working for him. That's why Christianity and Judaism and Islam, it's all a satanic ritual. Even though there's some value in the words they're saying, it's all a bunch of mixed up pre-garbage bullshit made by the white man. And the white man wants to ask, are you Jewish, nigga? No. And the white man wants to ask, are you Jewish, motherfucker? No, I'm not Jewish, motherfucker. I'm just saying. Jews pretend to be someone they're not. They call themselves Jews, and they want to say the 12 original tribes were Jews when they were originally black and cause all this confusion. That's why Kanye went on a meltdown with Alex Jones. And that's why I'm worried about Kanye, because his new wife, Bianca, that's his handler. Yo, that's his handler. Because Kim Kardashian, we all know Kanye's music slapped before he fell in love with Kim Kardashian. But then Kim Kardashian is doing what the white man's been doing to the black man ever since he enslaved us, forcing that Christian shit on us. And now Kanye, ever since Kanye, before the divorce, he was on that Jesus shit. And now he's going after, they got him off his autism medication, and now he's saying shit about Jews. That's all staged. He said that to speak out against the Matrix, because the reptilian Jewish race runs Hollywood. The reptilian Yahweh race, with Yahweh's a reptilian king, Jehovah's a reptilian king, Christian God's a reptilian king, Jesus is a reptilian king. They're all on a spaceship fighting against you. Black people up in the sky. Do you not see them spreading chemicals in the air? You have to have a decalcified pineal gland to see what's going on in the cosmos. To just know the slightest battle is going up there. You must have some awareness, even if you're not on semen retention and saving your semen up, because that's where the Kundalini energy comes from. So, yeah. So I'm worried about Kanye because he was friendly with the paparazzi when he was worshiping his reptilian Jesus in a church. Because they got him, the Illuminati put a gun to Kanye's head a few years ago, and they're saying that if you don't believe in Christ, and if you speak about the stuff I'm saying, like what he's doing with the Jews, that they're gonna shoot him. But like if he speaks out against our parent Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he's gonna get shot in the back of the head. And I wonder if Kanye's still alive, because there's been some Because Kanye knows he's not a real Jesus worshiper. I saw the paparazzi film Kanye in church for hours, and I watched the whole thing. Kanye didn't even look like he was into the prayer. He looked like he was praying to be out of that fucking church. Because Christianity has done nothing but hurt black people. It's done nothing but get us to listen to more Little Durk and what's that other nigga's name? 21 Savage. And they want to rap about killing each other. That's all it's driven us to, is writing. Then they try to write a bit of ghetto gospel, but that never goes out. All the murder, kill shit is in the air. They even got Little TJ on that murder shit. I mean, Little TJ, I kind of like Little TJ, but he's not that bad. They got all these other motherfuckers out here. But Tupac, he spoke out against the music industry. There's rappers that are still alive that are putting music right now, speaking up against the music industry. Big Sean, he talks about Illuminati sacrifices and when he's seen getting to the top and the temptations of selling your soul. Big Sean never sold his soul. Neither did Kendrick Lamar, because there's black people in the Illuminati, and they have them black people in the Illuminati just to oppress them, just so they can go, they're a sellout for their own species, just like LeBron James. The NBA is owned by white people, and this nigga LeBron James, I was watching an interview of my homeboy Young Pharaoh, which he's another spiritual YouTuber I watch. He don't go on YouTube no more. He's another enlightened brother. He's on Twitch now. He was reacting to LeBron James. That nigga's a straight up liar, because they asked LeBron, what's his favorite movie? The Godfather? Or what's his favorite 5 clips from The Godfather? And LeBron's like, I don't know. I've seen The Godfather. It's a good movie, but there's too many good quotes to name. How? I've seen The Godfather, and I'm so autistic and wired on ADHD, I don't remember it, because I didn't fixate it on that much, because I have Caucasian family members on my white side that watched The Godfather, so I didn't pay much attention to it. But this nigga lies just to be cool. LeBron James is the type of nigga to lie just to get with the popular kids in the back of the lunchroom in school. LeBron James is really that type of nigga. All these niggas, LeBron James, Scottie Pippen, they're all sellouts. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe spoke out. That's why the pharmaceutical companies are using his name. Mamba, that's why he got killed in a staged helicopter crash. You think Kobe just woke up and said, yeah, I'm too lazy to drive. Fuck, nigga, I'm just gonna get high and take my daughter in the helicopter. They planned the malfunction. They put a gun to his head just like they did to Kanye to force him on that Jesus shit, because they know if us black people stay in that Jesus shit till the day we die, we'll realize that Jesus is an alien who drinks children's blood, and he's a demon, a deceiving demon who wants us to, all black and white boys, to be together on some kumbaya, one race shit. They're gonna, the 9 ether judges, which you can see them in your hair, because we are all made by the 9 ether, the 99 black females that manifested themselves into existence, then made this universe and this realm and the 99 different other realms that are in the stratosphere on the planet that these reptilians are lying to you about. So, yeah. I have a lot to say, because I'm worried about Kanye, because the Kardashians kidnapped his kids. And when Kim Kardashian broke up with Kanye and she divorced him, Kanye was getting richer than ever. And Kanye said that shit about the Jews after the divorce with Kim. And he got a new wife in secrecy named Bianca. And they think Bianca's is Kanye's new handler, because they think Kanye, because they know Kanye's speaking out against the Illuminati, so they got him a girlfriend or a wife to keep his ass shut. They got him a big booty white bitch. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to deceive our people, trying to drain us of our semen. They're trying to They're trying to listen. As a biracial, I could never make a kid with a white woman because I want to keep my black. I love my black skin. And I want to keep my blackness pure. So, yeah. And Kanye, he's fully black, so he can have all the biracial babies he wants. I'm not judging him. But for you biracial brothers and sisters, you got to date a black or Hispanic or Native American or Asian woman. You got to break the curse. You got to break the curse. You can't let, because that's what they're trying to do, the Illuminati, or they're now known as the Freemasons ever since the 1700s. The Freemasons want us to have sex with the white women so biracial kids like me can have sex with the white women. That's why they're having the white women shake their asses on TikTok, and they got all this stuff like Instagram and shit as a distraction. They have Pornhub that put our people through that reincarnation portal too. And they got this Jesus shit because once the 99 ether judges judge you for that Jesus Christ shit, it's not about porn or anything. Because if you know you don't want to watch it and it's a habit you got to kick, you wouldn't be judged for it if you didn't beat it when you die. Because it's not as simple as they say, oh, you had sex, so you're going to hell. It's not as simple as that. It's not about if you had sex. It's not about being vegan or being an eat meter. It's not how many egg McMuffins a nigga ate in his life. It's not about that, depending on going to heaven. It's about believing in the right creator, which is our galactic sun, which is there's a black man living inside our galactic sun. And he is known as Al-Anu, the Most High, which connects with Uranus, the planet Uranus. And so that's why I'm worried, because they got Kanye a new wife to shut him up. And Kanye said if he switches up on the paparazzi, he says they killed him. And so Kanye West, there's been conspiracy theories. There's not conspiracy theories. They're actually legitimate theories on TikTok that Kanye's been killed and cloned and he's been replaced by the government. It's called MK Ultra, where they take your mind. I'm going to read to you what MK Ultra basically is. Back in the 1960s, the CIA took LSD and other psychedelic drugs like DMT, but mainly they took LSD, and they took a shit ton of LSD, and they tried to distort people's minds with this. They had used LSD and other narcotics, mix LSD with other narcotics. They mainly just use large quantities of LSD they would experiment on people. They would lure them in with prostitutes, and then they'd tie them up, and the prostitutes would tie them up and drug them with a large amount of LSD, and they'd see what it'd do to their effects. The British military at this time was also experimenting by giving their soldiers LSD. So they're trying to use mind-altering drugs and abuse them, because LSD can help you break free of the matrix. Same with magic mushrooms and marijuana. But taken in large quantities and mixed with other narcotics, they can get you to do their bidding and hypnotize you with other drugs. Because if you're drugged out and if you smoke pot until you pass out and someone dares you to do the stupidest shit, it doesn't matter. If you're sleeping while you're smoking weed, if you smoke so much weed that you fall asleep, I don't even think that's possible for some people like me, because I'm a rookie weed smoker. But, I mean, it is possible as a rookie weed smoker to fall asleep while smoking weed. You have to let it happen to yourself. You got to let all the anger from the white man oppressing you go. Not oppressing you. I'm talking about bullying in school. Because I've never been bullied by another. That's a lie. I have a little bit, but not really. But that's why I'm scared. I need to go on TikTok. Is Kanye still the same Kanye? Because he was nice to the paparazzi before. He was talking with the paparazzi, but now he's just pissed out. 2 weeks after he's in a church and they're filming him with his new fiance Bianca, Kanye's pissed at the paparazzi. They got all this Kanye West to distract our people from the cosmic alignments that are going on in the cosmos. Listen, I'm worried for Kanye, guys, because he's a brother and sister that's speaking out against the Matrix. He was a sellout, just like Snoop Dogg, but they're both speaking up against what's going on. We can't acknowledge their message, because if someone with this high of intelligence is speaking out against us, speaking out against the Caucasian race, and speaking out up against us to do something about it, we must follow in Kanye's footsteps. Black power, my brothers and sisters. And just know, you are not 1 year old. You are not 18 years old. You are 1 year and 9 months old. You are 18 years and 9 months old. That's the message of this video.